I know you are so freaking ready to fully conquer binge eating. I know you. And you have this fire in your heart. You have this motivation. You have this drive to conquer binge eating. But there's also a part of you that feels frustrated because you want this so badly, but food still feels challenging for you. You still have these food thoughts. You're still thinking about food a lot. You're still, checking out your body in the mirror a lot. You're still kind of obsessing over every single thing that you're eating. And I get it, how it can feel so frustrating where there's one part of you that's like, I'm so fired up. I'm so freaking ready to conquer binge eating. And then there's another part of you that feels frustrated because it feels like you're actually trying. It feels like you're actually, you want this so badly and you're like, I just want this to be done and over with, but I'm still binging. I was in that spot not too long ago. So many areas of my life were going well and I wanted to stop binge eating and I was willing to do whatever it took. Like, I know that you're like this massive action taker that if you just knew what to do, you would do it. Right? And the frustrating part is it feels like you're taking action and you are, but it's not the right action. It's not the right action because for me, I was trying to not buy the chocolate. And I'm like, I'm trying, like I'm seriously trying, like I just don't understand why. And I recognize that was actually making my binge eating worse. I was telling Andrew, my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, I was telling him, I said, I'm just trying to not give in to my urges, but I don't understand. I keep giving in. I'm trying. And that was so frustrating because I wanted it so badly. I wanted binge eating out of my life. I wanted it gone for good. And I was trying. I was putting in the work. But that wasn't what I needed to stop binge eating, and it's not what you need either. So I see you. You're trying to stop your binge eating, but when you're trying so hard and not utilizing the right tools, that's when it's frustrating because you're putting in the work, but you're not getting the result because you need a different approach. So I want to share why I've created my Root and Rewire process and what makes this approach to ending binge eating so much different than anything that you've ever done before and why it actually works. So I know the whole binge eating struggle, right? I battled urges to binge. I would promise myself every single week, I'm going to do good. I'm not going to binge. I would, eat super healthy. I would avoid, like I said, I would avoid the chocolate. I would stick to my meals. I would literally spend hours on the weekend meal prepping. And I'm like, I just got to stick to these meals, right? If you've ever done that before, you did a meal prep and you're like, okay, these are the meals that I prep. So these are the only meals that I can eat. And every week I would promise myself, but every time I would just give in and mess up and eat something that I didn't plan. And then I would say, well, holy moly, there goes the plan. Better start next week again. And so I healed my relationship with food by rewiring my brain. I've been binge free for over 4 years because I rewired my brain. This is not about a diet. This is not about willpower. It's not about just don't do it. Come on, just muster up the courage. You know what? Tonight, don't binge because I tried that. I remember the evenings were the most challenging time for me. And I would tell myself, I literally had this plan where I was like, just come home and go straight go straight upstairs. After you go home from work, just go straight upstairs. What was I doing? I was avoiding my trigger. Just avoid the chocolate. Don't buy that. Even when I lived with my parents, I would tell my mom, don't buy these foods. I was trying to avoid it. And that didn't fix my problem with food. That didn't fix why I felt compelled to eat everything. That didn't fix why I was having constant food thoughts. When I went to therapy and, it was, are you stressed? And how's your relationships? And I was like, my life is good. I have the most incredible relationships. I actually, quite frankly, I'm not that stressed. Like, of course, everyone has a little bit of stress, but at the time I was like, honestly, like, I'm not really that stressed, And then to my doctor, and it was like, again, you're just stressed. You're probably just depressed. And I'm like, okay, but like, no, I'm actually very happy. I live a really good life. Can you just tell me why I feel the need to literally stand in front of my pantry and eat until I'm so physically sick? And nobody can tell me. Nobody can tell me. The nutritionist, here's a meal plan, but you can be a little flexible. It's okay if you don't want the protein shake, you can have the 10 almonds. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand that is restrictive to me. I know you think it's flexible because I can either have this or this, but that is still very restrictive for me. And also, that doesn't help me change my thoughts around food. It doesn't help me become less impulsive. I actually just think about food so much more when you're putting me on this meal plan. So my process, my Root and Rewire process, it's not about more willpower. Controlling yourself around food is not from more willpower. It comes by rewiring your brain. Because you've tried the meal plans, you've tried the diets that I'm going to willpower my way through, I'm going to really try hard, and maybe you've even tried therapy, but it's challenging when those urges come on. And the reason that you've been stuck is not because you're not trying hard. I see you are trying. But you just haven't rewired your brain yet. You don't need another diet program, another meal plan that tells you like, okay, eat this. You need something deeper. You need to retrain your brain to stop those impulsive, automatic reactions that makes food feel like it's this constant battle. And again, I know because I've been there. I was controlled by food. I was battling these urges, feeling guilty about it, trying harder. And it's not about trying harder because you are trying, and it's not about, come on, just don't do it. Like, that is so exhausting. I kept on telling myself in the past, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I was like fighting against myself. I was fighting against my brain, and I realized I needed to stop fighting against my brain and I needed to rewire it instead. When you understand why you binge and you have the right tools to reset those neural pathways, you can break free. You can break free. You can feel calm around food. You can trust yourself to eat what feels right and let go of the guilt. This is where the Root and Rewire process comes in that I've created. It's not about restricting. It's not about punishing yourself. It's not about overthinking. It's about reprogramming, rewiring your brain so you can shift how you're thinking about food. So here's what makes this different from anything else that you've done. Number one, actual real tangible tools for long-lasting sustainable change. If you've ever, worked with me, or you've followed along the podcast or whatever it is, you know me, I'm all about sustainable changes. It's not a quick fix. Here's a tip. Maybe you've heard, like, when you feel the urge to binge, just chew gum. That's a freaking trick. Oh, just like go for a walk. Okay, that's not going to sustainably stop your binge eating. I'm so sorry to say, but chewing gum or going for a walk or just going to bed early, that's literally a Band-Aid solution. I don't even want to say solution because it doesn't work. You need brain-based tools that give you actual control around your urges. From the first step of actually rewiring your thoughts to daily habits that make food feel like, you know what, it's actually not that big of a deal. So you need the tangible tools. You need the tangible tools. When I walked into the therapist office, and I understand people need context for sure, right? That is important. But I was like, okay, can you just tell me like one thing that I can do maybe when I feel the urge to binge? And there was no tangible tools. You need tangible tools. I give my clients tangible tools. Okay, when you feel the urge to binge, do this. Okay, when you're thinking this thought, think this instead. Like, you need the actual tools. You got to reframe your thoughts around food. Because again, chewing gum is not going to help you stop thinking about food. Going for that walk is not going to help your body. Your body's still impulsive. You're on that walk and you're still thinking about food. You're on that walk and you're still like in this heightened state. You haven't rewired your brain. You haven't regulated your nervous system. You come back from the walk and you end up binging anyways. So number 2, it's not about the diet, it's about your brain. So most diets or restrictive plans is about like how much you're eating and what you're eating. It's actually not even about the food. It's understanding the way your brain works and using that to create better habits when it comes to food. So it's not about fighting with the food. It's not about like, should I have, the 10 almonds or the protein shake? It's not even about that. It's about understanding even your cravings, right? Understanding the difference between cravings and urges, right? Are you actually hungry right now? Is this a craving and yes, you should honor it? Or is it an urge and no, you shouldn't honor it? So it's actually not about the food. It's not about whether you should have the oatmeal for breakfast or not. It's, are you experiencing a craving or are you experiencing an urge? Number 3, you need support. No one ever gets to the other side of conquering binge eating alone. You need real support. You need connection. You need community, that's why I created my badass community inside of the Root and Rewire membership. It's all about community. Women who've been where you are and know exactly how to help you through these tough moments. These ladies get you. That's the biggest game changer. I'm not here to tell you, just stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. Come on, try harder. You want lasting change, sustainable change, and so do all the ladies in the badass community inside of the Root and Rewire membership. All the clients that I work with don't want a quick fix. They come in my programs, they're like, yep, the program's 6 months. Yep, the program's 12 months. Yes, I actually want to work with you, Lorna, because I'm sick and tired of these quick fix solutions. Right? The community of other ladies who stop making you feel crazy around the thoughts that you're having. Right now, you're doing things with food and you're like, I'm the only one. No, you're not. You're not the only one. It's just you haven't surrounded yourself yet with the other people who are also experiencing the same thing, which reduces so much shame and so much guilt and so much embarrassment. And that alone can transform your relationship with food, just recognizing that you're not alone and feeling seen every single day. This is huge. Community. So the Root and Rewire membership, it's a proven process that has transformed the lives of so many women who've been stuck in the diet binge cycle for years, just like I was. So this is not about trying harder, more willpower. How you feel around food is not random. It's the result of years of emotional patterns, beliefs, and habits that you've built. And those patterns don't just disappear by following the next quick fix, right? Just stick to the plan. Come on, eat clean. Force yourself to not binge, and then you're going to be binge free. That just creates more obsession. You need to stop just trying to try harder, stop fighting yourself, and instead rewire your brain, because that's when everything's going to change for you. And that's what I help women do inside of the Root and Rewire membership. Like, I literally want you to imagine no more starting over every Monday, no more guilt, no more shame after eating something off limits, no more overthinking every meal, every snack, every social gathering. Instead, you're going to feel confident, at peace. You're going to make choices that align with your goals and feel so empowered in your decisions. I say this to a lot to my clients. I'm like, that was such an empowered decision that you chose to say no to the cookies. Or that was such an empowered decision to say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to go out with my family and we're going to have some ice cream. This is the approach that you've been waiting for, and it's waiting for you. You have the community of women who are on the same journey as you. No one gets left behind. This is not even just about food. Like, this is your life that we're talking about. And I see you're so ready. You're so ready. You're like, I will literally do anything to stop my binge eating. Right? You're like, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to freaking conquer this. And just imagine if you actually had the proper brain-based tools, you would conquer. Because you have the drive, you have the desire, you have the motivation, but you're just using the wrong approach. So imagine if you actually use the right approach, you would conquer. I make conquering binge eating so much simpler than you've ever imagined. It actually is not complicated once you understand the brain, you understand how to change your thoughts around food. I am so committed to supporting you guys more than ever. I mean, I'm so freaking passionate about what I do because I use this process on myself, and it didn't just work for me. It's helped so many of my other clients conquer binge eating as well too. But I'm so fired up because I've seen how my life has completely transformed by rewiring my brain. And I just can't hold this information back. Like, I just can't. You know, like I remember those days where I was struggling and I'm like, if I just had somebody share these tools with me, like I would have been so grateful. And obviously that's why I got support when I was healing my relationship with food, and it changed my life. And so I can't just hold this information back. It's like, you need to rewire your brain. You need to rewire your brain. This is it, the root and rewire process. I have countless people that come to me. They're like, Lorna, the way you explain it and how it's all a habit and how I can actually rewire my brain, you can reprogram your brain. You are not stuck. You are not stuck. I don't care if you dieted for 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years that you've been binging and dieting and restricting. You can reprogram your brain, because you know what? I've helped clients who've struggled with binge eating for a few months. I've helped clients who struggle with binge eating for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40 plus years of restricting and binging, and they conquered. Why? Because they rewired their brain. You can reprogram and retrain your brain. This is the good news. This is the exciting part. You are not freaking broken. You can absolutely rewire your brain. Doesn't matter how long you've struggled with it for. Doesn't matter. You can retrain your brain. So if you've not yet jumped inside of the Root and Rewire membership, get your booty inside, join us inside of the community. The community is literally waiting for you. The community is literally waiting for you. The brain-based tools are waiting for you. So I will see you inside the Root and Rewire membership. I love you, and I'll see you inside.